Hey guys, this is Mr. Scott and I'm back this week. I had a couple of people that have emailed me with some questions after last week's video on making buttons for Canvas. So I thought I would talk a little bit more about that today. Remember, if you haven't been into Canvas lately, there are new guidelines from CCSD as far as what's expected to be in our Canvas this year. You can find that by going to Curriculum Portal and then going to the Canvas or the CCSD Canvas Expectations link. This is a full course. It's a module that goes through everything as far as setting up everything that you need. There's some templates in here to help you get started if you need that help. They're in here based on different grade levels. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be looking at our home page. There are some guidelines in here for setting up your home page, whether it is your homeroom home page or whether it is a home page for your course. Those are a little bit different at each grade level, so make sure that you check these based on which level of school you're in. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to create a new course. I'm going to create a new course. I'm going to call it Homepage Sandbox. And I'm going to create it. Now, remember when you create a new course, the first thing that it does is it goes to your modules. That's what is set as your homepage. We want to change that. We're going to be relying heavily on modules this year because that's where all of our assignments and our quizzes and our tasks and all of those things will be found here. But we want a home page. When I go to choose home page, I haven't created anything yet, so I don't have a lot of options. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pages and I'm going to create a new page. And I'm going to call it my home page. Now, when I look at the guidelines from CCSD for what our subject area home pages should look like, I've got a list of things that are required, and I've got a list of things that are suggested. You should see just a quick glimpse of those on the screen. But those are the things that I'm going to be working with. One of the things that we discussed getting ready for this was to change our navigation bars over here. There are certain things that we want you to have in your navigation bar, and there are certain things that we don't want in the navigation bar. So what I'm going to do, very first thing that I do when I create a page is I go in and I create a table. I just do a single table, few rows down. Notice it fills up the box. I have found for me what I like is I like a table that is roughly 700 pixels wide. Notice all I did was grab that corner and drag it over, and I see a number as to how that goes. I can also go here to table properties. Now there's a weird number here, but watch this. If you go in and you change that to 700 px for pixels, it's going to give you that size table that you want. Another thing that I do while I'm in table properties is I put in a 0 and I close out or take away those border lines so that when I go to preview my page, I can't see the table. I just see things that are lined up in the table the way that I want them. Now, some of you might want color for your table. When you go back into table properties again, you have advanced and you have a background color. Now, if I wanted blue and I go in and I type blue, I get blue. But maybe you want a specific type of color here. Okay, maybe there's something very specific that you want. All of our numbers have what's called a hex code. You can go in and pick an actual color. Maybe that blue that the canvas automatically gave us wasn't really what you were looking for. Maybe your school is more of a navy blue and you want it to be darker. You can go in and select that, and this gives you a hex number right here. You can copy that number and paste that number here and get that darker color. I've also got an option up here on my screen called Colorzilla. It's a Google extension, or a Chrome extension, I'm sorry. It's a Chrome extension that lets me pick colors. So maybe I want it to be the same blue as these links over here. Then I move my cursor, see the colored box at the top. Once I get that blue in there, let's go down here, see if we can get that blue. Let's go over here. There's the blue. I went with the blue over here in this side ribbon. Notice it copied it to my clipboard. So when I go in to Table Properties, Advanced, Highlight, Control V, now my blue matches this side ribbon. Now I've got my table set. Another thing that I want to do to my table is I want to center it on my screen. So I've got my table. I can click save and kind of see what it looks like. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to put a welcome header here at the top. It can just be welcome. It can be an image. It can be a GIF. It could be just wording. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into PowerPoint, and I'm using PowerPoint Online because I want you to see this entire process. I'm going to go in. I'm going to create a box. I'm going to create a shape. Give me a rectangle. I want it 6 by 2. So there's my table. I'm going to insert a text box. Say welcome to technology. That's what I teach. I'll put Mr. Reece, Teasley Middle School. Now, I'm going to drag this text box up here into my square. I'm going to play with the fonts. I'm going to center this. I'm going to make the fonts white since it's on a... Actually, I'm going to... let's see. Let's do orange, and then let's go back to the shape. We're going to fill that shape, wrong shape. I'm going to fill this shape with a lighter orange. See what it looks like. Again, a lot of this is just getting comfortable with the process, playing with some images. So I've got that. I don't like those two colors together. So let's go back to our main shape. Change that color. Let's use, we'll change our words to be white. So that's there. Now I'm going to duplicate my slide. I'm going to change these fonts here to red. Duplicate. Duplicate. I'm online, so let's see if it lets me change my slide size. Oh, it does. So I'm going to make this slide size the same size as my box. And I do this just so that when I save this image, it is completely the right size. All right, so now I've got that welcome banner. I'm going to copy it, duplicate the slide. I'm going to change this to be red font. So now I'm going to highlight both slides, duplicate, and I'm going to duplicate again. Now, so what I've done, we'll go to File, Save a Copy. We're online, so it automatically saves. But what I want to do is I want to get these images down onto my computer as JPEGs. So waiting on it to save, waiting. We'll go to File, save a copy, download, download as images. So I'm downloading those images, and they've come onto my computer as a zip file. So now what I'm going to do is open up that zip file. You'll see that these images are here in the zip in my downloads. So I'm going to put this onto my desktop in a folder called Homepage. I'm going to extract those images. So now I have these images. So what am I going to do with them? Well, there's a couple of things I can do. First, I can come back into this home page and I can very simply insert one of those images. Again, I'm going to go to my desktop, go to home page, and I can very simply call it HW because it's the home page and it has white letters. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to center it. And again, colors don't look good right now. We'll fix all of that shortly. But you can see that I've brought that image in. The other option that we have is to take those images and to create a GIF. I just go online and I type GIF Maker. So I go online, and this is the one that I use. I use gifmaker.me. I can upload my images. And you can see they give me a preview here in the corner. My canvas size, they can adjust it to whatever. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than where it came in. Notice it gives me a pixel size. I can speed up the animation. I like to kind of leave it where it's at, around 400 to 600 works. The 0 gives you an infinite length, and then I create the GIF. All right, once you've got your images loaded, you can see your GIF here. When you finish, click Create Animated GIF, and then download it. And what it's going to do is put that GIF into your download button, or download files. Now, what you're going to see when it comes in is it's not named. It just gives a generic name from the website. So the very first thing I'm going to do is edit that. Wrong button. I'm going to rename that. I'm going to call it Homepage Welcome. I'm going to move that to my desktop. And I'm going to go back to Canvas. I'm going to delete that image. I'm going to backspace that image away. So now, when I go to images and I upload a new image, this time I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to get that GIF file. Homepage, white letters, GIF. Now you can see that GIF file is there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go into my table properties and I'm going to change this color to be red. Might not be the best look, but it looks better than the blue did. So now I've got some color on my screen. I got a GIF at the top, and I can start making my buttons. Now, I'm going to create a new PowerPoint. One of the questions that I got was, how did you put pictures into your buttons? I had a page, I think it was this one. All of my buttons have pictures. So how did I do that? I did all of that in PowerPoint. So that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go back to my pages, open up that home page again. In PowerPoint, first thing I want to do is I'm going to resize. And again, I like that 2x6 size. I just think it works nicely for things that I want to do. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to create a button called About Mr. Reece. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually resize my text box. And I'm going to put a black border around it. I'm going to make it kind of thick. And I'm going to see, I don't see it on the online version. I was looking for where I could move my font to the center of this box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to very simply go back in. I'm going to take out that outline so that I can move this font around. I want it to be bold. I'm going to create a shape. I'm going to make that shape 2x6. So there's my button size. That's what I'm going to be using. We'll go to that shape, no fill, black outline, 2¼ wide. I'm going to position my font so that it is centered up and down. Got the black box. I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to type mountain. Go to images and I'm going to just go find an image that I like. Gotta copy that image back in. Control V to paste it. Now, I can shrink it because again, it's just a button. Then what I want to do, send it to the back. Now, the black font is not the best here. So what I'm going to look at is probably a yellow font that kind of stands out. And because of the image itself, I'm going to actually bring that back down towards the bottom. So now I've created a button with pictures. I'm going to go to my start menu, grab my snipping tool, grab that button. And that's how I do my buttons with colors. Save it. Again, we'll go to desktop, to home page, call it a button. I saw the typo, but that's okay. Edit. Upload a new button. This will be my first button. Now, it went in above. So I'm going to drag it down. I want it to be in this third row of my table. Now, I have two options here. I can click this button and shrink it. But what ends up happening there is that I have to play with the sizes. Sometimes it's easier. Highlight your picture, go here, go to attributes, and you can set that picture to be exactly what you wanted. I'm going to use 250 just because I'm going to actually center this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to put that picture in again. Do it that way. Got to do it through pictures. Maybe this would be button number 2. Obviously, it's going to look the same for now, but you will get the idea. And again, I'm going to resize that to be 250 as well. And what I would hope now I've got the 2 buttons in there side by side. Again, I was asked how to do picture buttons. That's all I do. Bring them in this way, adjust the background if you want some color, or leave it white. But I highly recommend that you work in tables. All right, and then your last step is to make that page your home page. Okay, so we've created the page, it's here, we've saved it, and we're good to go. So we go back home, and we come over here to choose a home page. We click it. Ah, our page isn't there. What did we not do? Let me show you what happened. You've got to make sure when you create that home page, even though your course isn't published, you've got to publish that page. Now when you go to pages, you have the option here to use as your front page. When you do that, you go back home, choose home page. Now, pages, front page is there. It is my home page that I created. I save it. Now, when my students and parents come into this course, they are welcomed with this home screen. Hope this helps. Hope it wasn't too confusing. Have a great day.